Dr. Reginald Tipps, PhD, DDS, Esquire, has been called one of the most accomplished scientists and posturologists of his generation. His 1991 doctoral thesis revolutionized research of skin care in the modern age. At the height of his career, Dr. Tipps published a blockbuster article in the journal Teen Beat. The controversial article sent shockwaves to the scientific community as it revealed the true link between pasta, specifically ziti pasta, and acne. For exposing their deadly secrets, the minions of Big Acne waged war on Dr. Tipps, destroying his good name, career, and personal life. Now, as the fate of nations hangs in the balance, Dr. Tipps is naming names of those behind the blackhead of corruption that places all human life in danger. So you made a discovery that conflicted with the agreed upon narrative?
Correct.
For that, they did everything to destroy your life? You were arrested and put under a gag order?
Correct. For 5 years, I wasn't allowed to talk about any of this. I had a perfect credit score. Now I'm filing for bankruptcy. The worst part about it is I had 90,000 witnesses. I wasn't allowed to bring a single one of them to the stand. There was no court case. There was never a trial. I was sequestered and kept in a prison cell with nothing but a toothbrush and rat droppings.
So what did they charge you with?
I was never charged with any crime. I was a prisoner of the state. I was a political prisoner because of the powerful people that I had information against that would prevent them from profiting. You have to understand, they kept me sequestered away from the world so that they could profit while other people suffered. Blistering suffrage.
But you were in jail?
There was no warrant. They drugged me out of my house. My wife was standing on the front steps of the house. They threw me into an armored vehicle like a dog being caught by a dog catcher. She had no idea why they were taking me away. They were searching through my house, looking for notebooks, looking for anything to find information of what I knew and what I had, and there was nothing there.
And yet you sit here. I think a lot of people would have laid low and just taken hundreds of thousands of dollars that they make off speaking engagements, but you decided to come forward after the gag order was lifted, and you've written a new book, The Blackhead of Corruption, Restoring a Path to Natural Acne Cures, and you're naming names.
Absolutely.
Apparently, their attempt to silence you has failed. So how do you sit here with such confidence that once you call out these prominent members of Big Acne, that they're not going to come after you leave this building?
They will try. They've tried and threatened my family. They've threatened my reputation. They've even threatened my degrees. But I will stand my ground. Mikey, my life has been in danger from the moment I first spoke up about this. I have had a target on my back. And that target is a pimple. But beyond the fear for my own life, I'm afraid for all living creatures, because if they get their way, this will kill every single person on earth. If Judy MikoZITS gets her plan out in front of the people, it will destroy not only every living being on earth, it will destroy every living being on the solar system. It will cause the sun to crash into the moon, to crash into the earth, and destroy everything that we've ever loved or ever known or ever cared about. And that is why I am not afraid of being killed for this.
So Judy MikoZITS is involved in this cover-up?
Judy MikoZITS is the cover-up. She would choose to cover up every zit that she has caused with a cream that she invented that will destroy every person who ever uses it. Judy MikoZITS is a criminal mastermind.
In 1999, I was working in Fort Detrick in USAMRIID there, and my job was to teach Ebola how to infect human cells without killing them. Ebola couldn't infect human cells until we took it in the laboratories and taught him.
And this is dangerous. I mean, the whole world is listening to these people right now.
Judy MikoZITS is the #1 bestseller on Amazon Books. Yeah, people are listening to her, but everything that she writes is propaganda. She's working with Dr. Fuseli, she's working with Bill Fenshole, she's even working with Donald Trump. They own patents together that will make millions while millions die. She holds 7,000 patents on every known unguent, every cream, every salve that can be produced. And every one of them contributes to an increase in pustules.
How can a person who's giving global skincare advice have a patent on that advice? Doesn't that seem like a conflict of interest?
Correct.
If we mandated global skincare worldwide, I would expect that the owners of these patents would make hundreds, millions, trillions of dollars.
They're already doing it right under our noses. And they will stop at nothing to stop people from blowing a whistle. I will blow that whistle.
So I have to ask, are you anti-skincare?
I am not anti-skincare. I am for immune discovery. Just like Alphareon Alpha. It's immune therapy, and I support that. I don't not support it. If you wear a mask and you are treating your skin, that treatment is being breathed back in and you're reinfecting yourself. Your zits will multiply within your body and on the outside. It's pure science. Judy MikoZITS doesn't want you to know this. Judy MikoZITS does not want you to know this. But I am willing to tell people the world over to sell my books and to continue to book speaking engagements at colleges, universities, and buffets.
So explain to me again how these agents reinfect themselves when you're wearing a mask.
Well, you have to understand how acne cells function in the lung. It's not a matter of like oxygen molecules that move around freely. The ZD has tiny hooks in its molecular structure that pull themselves into the cells. So when you breathe out, these hooks catch onto the mask and you breathe them back in, reinfecting yourself.
Do you believe zits are a natural part of life?
I would believe that they came from nature if they were from nature, which they are. But I don't believe this because they're part of the ziti plant, which was first discovered by the Knights Templar in the basement under the Temple of Solomon during the Crusades. This is the secret of the Illuminati, where Judy MikoZITS is the high priestess of a small sect of Illuminati shaman. Now, they have an agenda to destroy the world. But there is no way that zits could have possibly passed from bats to humans in less than 300,000 years. That's just science.
So what about the number of people with acne problems in the current pandemic of COVID-19? Is there a link?
There is a direct link between COVID-19 and acne problems. You see, for COVID-19, people are forced to stay at home. And what do you do when you stay at home? You eat pasta. And by eating ziti, it causes zits. It's not an accident that it's called ziti because it's spelled zit-I, because it puts zits on I if I eat ziti.
Is that why Italy was hit so hard?
I'm sorry, Mikey, I have a lot of family in Italy. It was tragically hit very hard. The Italians are the first people to eat pasta, and they eat a lot of it. So they were hit very, very hard, and that is where Dr. MikoZITS decided to release her skin zine, and she was basically experimenting on those people.
What about natural cures?
Well, ziti pasta is a natural substance because it comes from the ziti plant, which is harvested in streams. Now, other organic compounds can sometimes counteract the infestation. For instance, in the 1930s, Coca-Cola included cocaine in their soda beverages. But that comes from coca leaves, which is an organic material and can't be patented. So now they have high fructose corn syrup, which Dr. Fuseli owns the patent to. Dr. MikoZITS works with Dr. Fuseli. You see the connection here?
Is it safe to say that anything that can't be patented has been shut down intentionally because there can't be a profit made from it?
Patents are a tricky thing. They're important as long as they're in the right hands. Dr. MikoZITS, for example, should not have any patents because she is using them to destroy the world. There are scientists like myself who have spent years understanding the problems of the world and coming up with solutions. We are the ones who should have the patents and be able to profit from these cures that we can put forth into the world. Now you realize that if you or anyone you've ever loved has eaten pasta, they have the ziti cells in their body. They will, at some point, have acne. Now this is almost too hard to talk about, but thankfully, people like myself have developed creams and ointments that you can buy only through my website, stopzits.com. Can you put that on the lower third? Thanks.
This video will probably be taken down because people with other interests don't want you to get this information out there.
People are afraid of the truth, and the truth will profit me.
Thank you, Dr. Reginald Tips, for taking the time to talk to me, and thank you for your courage.
It's the least I can do. Really.
Will the scientific community have the courage to answer the question of whether these diseases might have been of their own creation? Thank you.
So what we did pretty much ever since I got out of jail, we started an education company.
Right, and then I see the disinfectant, where it knocks it out in a minute, 1 minute. And is there a way we can do something like that by injection inside or almost a cleaning? Because you see it gets on the lungs and it does a tremendous number of the lungs. So it'd be interesting to check that. So that you're going to have to use medical doctors with. But it sounds interesting to me.